Okay, so let's go through another practice test. And this one comes from the Cambridge Official 8 practice test. This is test number 8, reading passage 1. This actually is probably one of my favorite Cambridge books to practice from. So I'd encourage you to go out and get it and use it because it has 8 great practice tests in it. I think they're great practice, really, really great practice. And so this is coming from test 8. So if you have it with you, make sure that you have it and you can do it along with us, so you can take a look at our strategy and tactics. So we're still looking at fill in the blank questions, and this is our third example of the fill in the blank question. So let's have a look at it. All right, and this is, well, it's too big. Well, that's better. All right, so this is the Phoenicians and almost forgotten people. I know about the Phoenicians because I love history, but you know, if you don't, that's what the title of this is. So sometimes you find the reading passages are interesting to read, sometimes you don't. But that doesn't matter because it's really not about your background knowledge. It's about your understanding of strategy, tactics, and English. That's what they're testing. Strategy, knowing you're having good strategy and you're understanding English. If you have those two things, then you can actually do pretty good on the exam. So let's keep going and let's move forward in terms of our strategy and tactics, okay? So here we have 8. Wow, we have eight questions that we're doing. So like I said, first thing we want to do, as we did in the other examples, here is look at and see which ones are going to be the easiest to do first. Some of these have some really great words. Wow. A lot of these are going to be easy to do. Number 2, I would probably start with number 2. Because it has the words 50 ships and Egypt. Number 3 is also easy to find because of the word King of Israel and Phoenicia. Number 7 is probably easy to find because of the word carved and the word cedar. So I would probably start with 2, 3, and 7. That's what I would probably start with, 2, 3, and 7. If I come across the keywords of 4, 5, and 6 and I recognize them quickly, I can do those also. But I think if you're talking about which ones are the easiest to find first, it will be 2, 3, and 7. If you know where number 3 is and you know where number 7 is, then you know numbers 4, 5, and 6 are in the middle. You know number 1 will be found before number 2, and number 8 will come after number 7. That's the beauty of having a fill-in-the-blank question. That's the beauty of it, because the question goes in order. And when you know the questions go in order, it's much, much easier for you to be able to handle and manage your getting them right efficiently. So I'm going to start with number 2 first, and then we're going to move on from there and find number 3, and then find number 7 also. Okay, so first I'm looking for 50 ships and Egypt. And I know for number 2, when I find my sentence, I'm looking for a person or a person in a profession like teacher, because it says the word who. In an ancient story, a blank from Egypt, who. So we're talking about a person for number 2. So when I find my right sentence, I'm looking for a person or it could be a person or it could be a word like a lawyer. That's a person. It could be a word that describes a person also. So let's take a look. All right, so I'm scanning. In this reading passage, we have it broken up side by side. Sometimes it's like that, sometimes it's not. But for this one, it's like that, and that's the way it is. All right, so here's the word 50. Here's 50 ships. And in the previous sentence, we have the word Egypt. So our first question is coming from a combination of these two sentences. Remember, I told you previously what they do sometimes is they'll take two sentences from the reading passage, and when they make the question, they'll combine information from both of those sentences into one sentence. So that's our situation that we have here. All right, so it says one of the characters is Worket El, a Phoenician merchant living in Tanis in Egypt. Egypt's now Delta. As many as 50 ships carry out his business, plying back and forth between the Nile and the Phoenician port of Sidon. All right, so we're looking for a word, a person. All right, we're looking for a person here. So our question again says, in an ancient story, a blank from Phoenicia who lived in Egypt owned 50 ships. So we can't, it says a, right? So we can't use a person's name here. You can't say like Aquino, which, as most of you know by now, is my name. You can't say Aquino from Phoenicia or a John from Phoenicia. No. So here, when we look back at the sentence or the two sentences together, our answer is going to be merchant. Right, merchant, because a merchant describes a person, and a merchant and the word merchant can follow the article a. All right, so the answer is merchant. In an ancient story, a merchant from Phoenicia who lived in Egypt owned 50 ships. So in an ancient story, a merchant from Phoenicia who lived in Egypt owned 50 ships. The answer is merchant. All right, next we're looking for king of Israel, and we're looking for something he built using supplies from Phoenicia. King of Israel, and our answer will be connected to something he built. Something he built. Oh, boom, there it is. King of Israel. Right there. King of Israel. All right. All right, so here we're going to start right here. Hiram, the king of the Phoenician city of Tyre, was an ally and business partner of Solomon, king of Israel. For Solomon, so we're still talking about, this is our sentence when we see king of Israel, but our answer is not coming from this sentence because in this sentence, we don't have the word built, or we don't have we don't have the word built, or we don't have an example of something that was built. All right? When we look at this sentence with the king of Israel, we don't have it yet. So for Solomon, this is still a good sentence because the word Solomon is synonym for king of Israel. For Solomon's temple in Jerusalem, Hiram provided craftsmen with particular skills. So, what was built was a temple. Right? That's our answer right there. Temple. A king of Israel built a temple using supplies from Phoenicia. We know that's our answer because, again, it says, for Solomon's temple in Jerusalem, Hiram provided craftsmen with particular skills that were needed for this major construction project. He also, okay, so our answer here is temple. Solomon's temple. This is what was built. This is what was built. Solomon's temple. Now for our next one, we're looking for cedar and carved. All right, here's the word cedar, and here's the word carved. All right, so I will look at these two sentences, to get number 7, cedar and carved. All right, so when we look at number 7, the Phoenicians carved blank as well as cedar. So we're looking for something that was carved. We're looking for something that was carved. Cedar is one thing, but we're looking for another object that was carved. It has to be a material that was carved. Okay? The cedar wood was not only exported as top quality timber for architecture and shipbuilding, it was also carved by the Phoenicians. So there's about the cedar. And the same skill was adapted to even more precious work in ivory. So there's our other material, ivory. All right, cedar is, when it says it, is referring to cedar. So cedar is one material that was carved, and the other material that was carved is ivory. So our answer for number 7 would be ivory, is our answer for number 7. All right, now we know 4, 5, and 6 are in between. We know 4, 5, and 6 are in between numbers 3 and 7. So we know they're within that short space, and those are going to be fairly easy to find. All right. So number 4, Phoenicia supplied Solomon with skilled. All right, Phoenicia supplied Solomon with skilled. So we know that it has to come in this area right here. These 4, 5, and 6. All right, so Hiram provided craftsmen with particular skills. All right, there's our answer for number 4 right there. Hiram provided craftsmen with particular skills. So skilled craftsmen. Craftsmen, for those of you who don't know, who are vocabulary challenged, craftsman is almost like a carpenter, or the old name for like an engineer, somebody who builds things. All right, so the answer for number 4 would be craftsman, because it says skilled craftsman. Number 5, the main material that Phoenicia sent to Israel was. Keywords in number 5, main material that Phoenicia sent to Israel. What was the main material? Again, we know our answers have to come in here. All right. He also supplied materials, particularly timber. All right. Particularly timber, including cedar from the forest of Lebanon. Particularly is our synonym word. So our answer is timber. Our answer is timber, the main material. When it says particularly, right, that's like saying like mainly, particularly, especially. It's like saying especially, right? It's like saying especially this. So our answer for number 5 is timber. Number 6, the kings of Phoenicia and Israel formed a business, blank, in order to carry out trade. Keyword here are kings of Phoenicia and Israel, and formed a business, blank. All right, our answer is going to connect to business. Has to. Here we go. The 2 kings. Right, the 2 kings. That's our keyword sentence there, because the sentence starts off talking about the kings of Phoenicia and Israel, and here it says the 2 kings. Okay, and there's no other sentence that talks about the 2 kings. So the 2 kings went into a trade partnership. Again, they love synonym language with the IELTS exam. So trade is a synonym for business. So the answer is partnership. Partnership is the answer for number 6. Business partnership, trade partnership. All right, now we can find number 1 and number 8. Number 1 is connected to the word skill. Phoenician skill at blank helped them to trade. We know number 1 has to come before number 2, so it's going to be easy to find. All right, it's this sentence right here that starts with the word both. All right, because the word ability is the same as the word skill. So I know this is the sentence. The word ability is the same as the word skill. All right, the previous sentences don't have a synonym for the word skill. Both of these activities were based on seafaring and ability of the Phoenicians. So the Phoenicians had the skill of seafaring. 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 Because ability is the same as skill. And our sentence says, the Phoenicians' skill at seafaring. The Phoenicians' ability at seafaring. So our answer that we would put on the blank line there would be seafaring. Seafaring. And number 8, the Phoenicians also earned a blank for shipping goods. They also earned a, whatever goes on that blank line for shipping goods. What do they earn for shipping goods? Keywords here are shipping goods. So whatever our answer here, it has to connect to shipping goods. We know it has to come after number 7, which was right here with the word carved in ivory. So we're looking for something dealing with shipping goods. There it is, goods. All right, they took a commission on a much greater range of precious goods than they transported elsewhere. Answer is commission. Commission. Because our question says the Phoenicians also earned a blank for shipping goods. Again, it's all about synonym language. They took a commission for shipping goods. They earned a commission for shipping goods. All right. So shipping and so earned and took, they're using a synonym language. And our correct answer would be commission. Okay? So, thanks a lot, and I hope you enjoyed these examples on how to do the fill in the blank question. And now I hope you're clear on how to do the fill in the blank question. All right? So, I'll talk to you soon, and we're about to now move on to the short answer questions yet next, so I can teach you how to do them. Take care.